What's up, YouTube? We are back with a new update on the layout. I was gone for about 2 weeks, been home for almost a week. I've got a few more days off at home, but honestly, I haven't done very much while I've been home this time. I've just been relaxing, kind of recouping on the 2 weeks I actually had to work. Heaven forbid I should actually be productive. Anyways, before I left, I'm pretty sure it was before I left, I did a little bit more work to the warehouse. I got all of the wires together, so let's take a look at that. All right, so I am just kind of tinkering around with the warehouse, and couple of things. One, I have this little tiny light right here. This is part of the Walther's kit, and it is the light that would sit in here, and it would sit something similar to that. It looks like it's a little crooked for some reason. I got to play around with it a little bit. But I've already taken a Dremel out and kind of taken away from the arm that goes into the building, and drilled out a little hole on the base of this thing so that I can take some, matte medium or something and just kind of poke that into there just to create a little bit of light. Now, I could have gone for wherever it is, the Mega, and I could have done that, but the wires are a lot thicker, and I didn't really want to detract from what was part of the kit. Now, I could have scratch built something, and I might still do that for lights up the side. And it is super bright for as small of a bulb as that is. It is super bright, so that should work out pretty well being there. So I have to try to fish this wire through the hole, I would guess. First step is actually going to paint this, and then fish the wire through the hole, and then secure it to this, and then try to fish everything back through. So, and then what I'm going to do with all of the lights inside is I'm going to unplug that just to make sure that I don't touch any wires together. So I have these little clips. I can't remember what they're called. They're Wago clips, W-A-G-O, 5 conductor. They're not exactly what I was hoping for, but they will work out in the end. And basically they are just little flip clips like this, and you shove your wires in and then bloop like that. So one will have the I'm going to say positive, I'll have 2 in here basically is what I'm saying. So basically what it is I'll take this rat's nest, split them, and then probably do like 2 per, what have I got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 lights. So yeah, basically I'll do 2 per in these, and then the power will come in through the other one. And you stick the wire in, you go clip, and then they are clipped in, and very, I guess, good connection. I don't know. I haven't tested them. I just saw somebody else do them. I think it's Chicago Crossing has used something similar to these. And then I will just glue them to the back of the wall here or what have you, and then have wires coming out. All right, so I basically have this wiring job pretty much wrapped up. I've got some, right now I'm just using the plug and some wire from the Just Plug systems. I might extend it, I might use this, I don't know, I'm not sure yet, but I've got these Wago clips, whatever they're called, and everything is all wired into there. I've got the 6 dock lights and 2 ceiling lights inside, and then the 1 exterior, and I think that might just be all I do. Yeah, so I've got the interior light on inside and inside there, and then I've got the cool white light on the building, and then the 6 docks. So 6, 7, 8, 9 lights total. I'm not too worried about the bleed through here because there is going to be some grout up top. So that should hide all of that. Okay, so here we go. We are at the layout. I've got the building down. I've also gone ahead and put a layer of the grout down. Again, this is the same type of grout, Polyblend Plus sanded grout. But this one is in the natural gray compared to the one that's over there. I can't remember, khaki or something like that. I just kind of took the spoon, basically just kind of like I do my grass, and just kind of shook it over the roof, and then took my little spritzer bottle and touched up anywhere that it may have accidentally blown away with the power of the spray. And yeah, now I'm just waiting for it to dry. Now we can plug it in. Yeah, now we have all the lights, and now we will go like that, and boom, we have our dock with the interior lights and the exterior lights as well. So now what I've just done last night was I finally decided to go ahead and place the barrels around the work zone on Industrial Avenue. I've been wanting to do it. It's just small details that I don't know if they're going to be in my way while I do work around the road. So I wanted to put it off, but I'm at the point now where I just want to get it lit up and have another thing checked off the list on something that needed to be done. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so let's get to this scene here. Let's turn those off because we don't have a train going by. Let's get to this scene here for a few minutes. I really wanted to wait until the right time to take care of this. There really isn't a right time, honestly. But I wanted to wait until, I had enough of this scene on both sides done, because I've got to constantly move things back and forth. But I think at this point I am safe to put these down. If not, I can always pull them up. Barrels and the backhoe are both from East Coast Circuits, and I've had them for a little while. Of course, we've seen that on the layout, but it's been lit. I mean, it might be lit in some of the other Jeez, I can't talk. In some of the other videos, but I really waited for the barrels because they are, kind of finicky, just because they're so small. I had to drill out holes big enough that I can get the wire through, and with a bit that would go through, a good 1.5 inches of material, and small enough that the barrels would still cover. So I finally got around to that last night, and well, maybe not last night, it might have been the other night, and got everything just kind of tucked up. I've still got to, do wire management and that sort of stuff, but I've got it going into a distribution block there with the barrels here, which if I do have to pull them all apart, I do have them numbered as to which one in sequence they go. So I've got the barrels, and this wire here is the backhoe. I've got that wired, and I've got the industry and the just plug lights here, all on that distribution block. And yeah, so that's that finally done. Right, and finally, I have decided to get something that I wanted to for a while. Now, everybody knows the Amazon under the bridge scene. A lot of people actually have seen it before they even saw my videos on YouTube, with the Facebook post on the HO scale group posting. Some people said, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's not finished, I know it still needs the abutments for underneath on the hills, and I don't think I'm going to put a line down it. It's an old back road that, a truck doesn't belong on. I've been on back country roads. We don't have lines on them. But one thing that I did want to add, and somebody actually did comment, is it needs, police barricades and blah, 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 blah. And so when the scene was getting closer to being done, and when I was placing some vehicles, I took my little Rapido car and just kind of put it back behind the trailer. And it worked as a placeholder, but I wanted something that lit up. A while ago, I've seen that East Coast Circuits has some police trucks. I contacted them because if you go through East Coast circuits, there's like a 21 day lead before they can send it out. It says that it's in stock, so I was like, well, is it really 21 days or what? And they said, yes, it is a 21 day. You know, it takes a while, but if you want it right away, you can get it from some suppliers. And they gave a list of 3 suppliers, one being Midwest Trains, Midwest Railroad. Everybody knows them. They're not much sponsor of mine, so I don't need to worry about their name right now, but everybody knows them. They're out there in that one state. They had some, so I looked at that. Now, they got 3 different variances, the one with the white doors, and I really kind of settled on that one because it has the light bar, and 2, because this is black and white as well. Although they are completely 2 different generations. This is like a 1989 Chevy Caprice, and this is a 2008 Ford F-350. Way different, but I'm figuring this in the very back of the town on the road. You won't really notice it too much, but this one does light up. So let's go ahead and get this one thrown onto the layout. So a couple of other things. I finally went ahead and put in the forest. I did that the other day. I got one tree. Here it is. Found one tree on the ground, so I got to do that still. But yeah, I secured all these ones, drilled the little holes, plugged them all in, sign included. Got around to this one as well. I think I still need a few more just to kind of bring it out a little bit farther, but I like it. It gives enough of a scene break, especially the way it's set up now. You can still see through some of the trees on the hill, so I kind of like the way that's set up. So that works out. As well as, I can't remember if I had brought this up previously, but I kind of have an Easter egg of getting the vehicles that I have owned previously, or currently own, on the layout. And right now I do have a Dodge Stealth, and I do have, it's a Charger. This one's a Dodge Stealth, the silver one there. And those, unfortunately, are Matchbox Hot Wheels, not HO scale. So they don't quite fit. That's why they're kind of tucked away where people don't see it. But I do have a couple. I bought this one a week or so ago. I guess a couple of weeks before I left. And it is an Atlas 1997 Ford Taurus GL in the metallic blue, which is exactly what I had. Also had a 99 in white, but yeah, had the blue one. And then I found this one here. I can't remember the make of it. River something or rather. They have a line of Ford Expedition ELs, which ours is not an EL. It is not two-toned, and these are like a half generation before ours. Ours is a 15, and in 15 they had the longer fog lights. These ones have the round fog lights. So ours is solid white, so it is slightly different, but it is still close enough. So now I've got those 2 vehicles. The Charger, I'd like to find a silver HO, and then the Dodge Stealth, that'd be a really hard one to find. I'd need to find that in black. So we got the truck over here, pulled the car. I've got to do a little bit of cleanup here. Just get rid of some of that, a little overspray and stuff like that. And then I got to figure out exactly where I'm going to put it. With the placement of the wire, it should be pretty easy as long as I get it underneath. Whether it's going to be offset like that, straight behind him, or if I'm going to angle him, which I probably will angle him like that, right there in that place. But yeah, I'll get the placement, and then I'll drill the hole straight through, and then for now I'm just going to tap these wires into the wires that are on the semi. Alright, so I got my smallest drill bit that I can use. Should be able to get down through there. Didn't clean this, but really, that's fine. Got no wires under here, so that's good. Don't have to worry about exactly where I place it. I think right there is good now. It's about right between the B pillars, so And don't mind my hand if it's in the way. Sorry, guys. I can't put the camera over here now with all the trees. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think I like that. So, drill a hole right around there. Unravel this without getting any of the wires tangled, which already sort of is kind of. So, I'm going to do this off camera, and then I'll fish the wire through, and then I will be back at the end. All right, here we go. We've turned off the overhead lighting so that we can see what's going on here. We have some tail lights with some tail light strobes. We got some LED bar action in the back window. We do have a light bar on top as well. Flashes red and blue back and forth. We've got the front visor light bars that flash red and blue, LEDs. LEDs on the grill. Got headlights and headlight strobes as well. So it is a full meal deal on that pickup. And I love how it looks on this layout the way it is. Heck yeah. All right, so there we have it. We got them flashing in the background over there. I like it. I think it works out a lot better than a non-lit vehicle. I want to say that was all that I've gotten done recently. Like I said, I've been kind of lazy, just trying to relax at home in my pajamas and stuff like that. So, been running some trains. Got that new BNSF that I unboxed the other day on video, and that's about it. So, I really don't think there's going to be much more that I do while I'm at home. I've only got 3 more days at home, and I got things I've got to get done. So I don't think I'm really going to get anything done to the layout. I do have some videos still built up in my arsenal to send out. And again, I don't know how long I'm going to be out this time. I know I've got 2 shows this time, 2 different artists, so it'll probably be at least a couple of weeks. And then by that point, season really should be kicking off to where I'll be actually doing some tours. So, yeah, I guess on that note, I feel like there's something I'm missing still, but I can't think of what it would be. So I guess on that note, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you tune in next time. Thanks much, and happy railroading.